Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson, and I'm doing things a little bit differently here. I went straight to the cover of GQ magazine, and I pulled off my boy here, Jake Reeves. Now, me and Jake are pretty good friends. We're years apart, like literally 3 decades apart, but Jake is way ahead of his time and business savvy, business intellect, and whatnot. So I was like, man, I want to get something a little bit different and fresh out to my squad out there. And I'm bringing on literally a 19-year-old, and I believe he's going to be 20 here pretty soon. But he's a 20-year-old. He's a runner, part-time bar back, although I know he's moving forward from that too. But he's a full-time hustler and host of the Plot Podcast. And his vision for the Plot Podcast is to expose his listeners to the ebbs and flows of what it is to start, own, and operate your own business and brand. He provides the world with a scope to see each different profession and how they handle the trials that come with the new opportunities and setbacks. And the thing about Jake is he's interviewed like horse jumpers, bodybuilders, other business builders. And it's just, I've listened to every single one of his shows. I can't wait to get interviewed on his show. And it's just rock star. He's born and raised in Jupiter, Florida. He's one of my Kava buddies. And if you're not familiar with Kava, I talk about it a lot. It's a really relaxing drink. I call it Xanax in a glass. And it's healthy for you and it's fantastic. And Jake and I see each other a couple times a week and pick each other's brains, just how to level up. So Jake, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on. Please introduce yourself to the Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
I think my favorite color is red, just because it's like an intense pop out color.
All right.
I like to grab people's eyes and have sort of like an intense conversation with people maybe when they're not expecting it.
Love it, man. I love it. That's your personality too. You're pretty chill. If you meet this guy, if you're watching YouTube, girls don't get all crazy, but he's like seriously straight off the cover of GQ. He's built like a brick. He's just a really nice, I'm going to call him a kid because to me he's a kid, but he's so far ahead. He's just an awesome guy. So Jake, you're 20 years old. So there's not a ton of life that you've lived yet. But what got you to the point of saying, man, I'm going to rock a podcast out to help other people share their story and get it out to the world?
Yeah. So for me, it was like a big passion about like businesses and seeing other small businesses succeed or maybe not, or, what people go through without, starting their own thing. And I was a kid in high school who didn't really have, an idea of what he wanted to do. And, for some of like the older viewers out there or, people a little bit more seasoned than me, sure, you might think like, I'm not supposed to have it figured out. Right. But you get a lot of anxiety and you want to, figure it out. So I wanted to provide, kids with that place where they could go and they could see, what does this profession do? What do these people do to, have a side hustle, make money or start their own business? And, how could I do it?
Love that. And let me ask you something. Do you ever get any objections to your age? Because me, when you first met me, I was an open book. You were an open book. We just chatted. You're reading a book that was well beyond what I felt you should be reading at your level in life about neuroscience and brain and leveling up. But how do you handle any objections to, we'll call them grown-ups, to like when they come to you and be like, dude, what do you know? Why should I listen to you? How would you handle that objection, bro?
Be like, listen, I might not have, like I said, I might not have the years on me. I might not know a lot, but I still have the ability to learn. And if you don't have the mindset, even as like a 40-year-old, 30-year-old, that you cannot like keep learning, you're closed off, and you're not going to be, you're not going to be advancing, further. I might not have the same amount of experience and all that, but I'm open to, learn and continue to, grow my knowledge as I get older.
Bro, and that's so true about you. I mean, squad, like I have the privilege of Jake coming up to me and like picking my brain a little bit, and I'm an open book with him because he does what we call get your asking gear. Like he's always asking questions. He's curious, but he has that curiosity with a humbleness about him, a humility that you want to give him everything. You want to give him the world. But then I've also heard him in conversations with other people over at Oasis Root, and he's just dropping knowledge nuggets at 20 years old that I wouldn't even have thought about. And that to me is super impressive. And he doesn't let it go to his head. And red fits you perfectly, dude, because you're a fiery dude sometimes, and I love that about you. And it shows that you want to get after life, but you're also open to being a sponge and get it rocking. So again, 20 years old, what happened to you to want to be an entrepreneur? Was this something that clicked? I know you said you're in high school and whatnot, but didn't you do something in high school with the academy in high school for entrepreneurship or something like that really kind of like rattled your brain and got it going?
Yeah, so I was part of DECA. For those that don't know, it's kind of like FBLA. It's like a business club.
Okay.
And you basically go to these, they have a bunch of events like throughout the course. It's a class that goes along with the club there.
Right.
And you go on these, ICDC trip, which is like a career conference, and you do competition. So you basically get like a script or something, and they put you in a room. So you'll be for one specific area, whether it be hospitality, marketing, entrepreneurship. And they have you sit down and they give you a prompt and you get to write out like a business plan. And then they go and interview you and you kind of make up stuff, on the fly there, and you have an hour to, make up a business plan. So I think that my upbringing with, my parents being entrepreneurs, being a real estate agent and, owning your own business. And then, other experiences throughout like my work life, I was just like, what, I know that at the end of the day, I'm going to have to work these, not favorable positions, just to make ends meet.
Yeah, man.
But at the end of the day, I definitely, want to do my own thing and, be calling the shots.
Yeah. You're doing what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. Right. And that's exactly what you do. So this DECA thing, man, is it available in most high schools these days?
I feel like most high schools have it. Some of them do the FBLA instead.
Okay.
So they're both kind of like a yin and yang thing. I don't know that much about FBLA.
Okay.
But I would say that like most high schools definitely have a sort of business club going on there.
How was it? Was it a competition? Was it scored, Jake, or what's the story with that?
Yeah, it's scored from like an A to F ratio.
Oh, wow.
A to F grading scale. Yeah.
Okay. How'd you do?
I think I got a 90 something.
Wow. So that's still an A, right? It's still an A. You crushed it. Awesome. So what does your family think about your choice of like, and again, I know that you're working in restaurants and stuff like that, dude. When I got out of the military, I personal trained in the morning. Then I went and did real estate, and then I bounced at a bar at night. So when eventually the bouncing fell off and the personal training fell off, and I was a real estate agent, and then I built up now with Time to Shine today, the last 12 years and whatnot. But what does your family think about you wanting to be an entrepreneur? I mean, I know you're side hustling, but what does your family really think about that?
They're pretty supportive of me with, the podcast and stuff goes. But at the end of the day, they're not like completely all in where I want to be. I want to be, and I know it's like slow and steady. I got to take steps to get there, but
yeah,
I want to be able to like quit the job and do this and pursue this full time and build other, parts around the podcast that I can't talk about. But they're pretty supportive of it. They've had dreams in their lives and they've, lived long lives. So I think they kind of understand that this is not something that's going away and that I'm going to keep doing it no matter what.
Bro, you're 20. Okay. And I've never heard a 20-year-old say slow and steady. Like here at Time to Shine today, we call it inch by inch. It's a cinch. By the art, it's hard. I'm sure I've said that to you, while we're talking, but where was that instilled by your parents with the patience, or did you pick it up as a sponge, like watching your dad rock out real estate deals slow and steady and your mom with their business? Like, where did that come from, dude? Like, that blows me away. I didn't realize slow and steady till I was 32. You feel me? I was like, go, go, go. Like, where did it come from?
Yeah, honestly, just like seeing other people do things and how other people have built, content, and definitely from my parents. I would say my dad, it takes a while sometimes, especially with like building relationships with people, and you want them to, not just there for business. Like you want to be friends with them and have a good relationship, and the business will come. And I think that, yeah, slow and steady is definitely like a big part.
Man.
Yeah.
That's so beyond your years, man. And I'm so impressed. And I am every day, and I chat with you that I see you. So have you seen the movie Back to the Future? All right. We're not going to go back in time because you're so young, but remember when Doc Brown at the end is like, where we're going, there are no roads. Remember, we're going to go 10 years in the future. Jake Reeves is 30 years old. Where do you see yourself?
Hopefully I still, have a podcast and I'm still, on the plot, interviewing people and making connections. I definitely want to be, still in the business world, doing my own something. I'm open to, working for people if, I have the right opportunity. But I just want to be somewhere where I can grow something that's going to make a difference. I know that sounds like the thing that every kid is probably going to say, but, impact is big for us, Gen Zs or millennials. And I want to be somewhere that I can, make a difference, both, philanthropically and then, with the business.
Philanthropically, you're 20. You even know what that means? I'm kidding. I know you know what it means. You're always giving back. No, that's awesome. I love that you come from a place of service, man. And that's where it all starts. I believe that, you should do what you love in the service of people that love what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like they see the passion in there. You will blow that podcast up. What are you about 20 episodes in, or how many episodes in are you now?
Like 8 episodes.
Okay,
in right
okay. Now. I appreciate the honesty too, man.
Yeah.
It's I listened to them. Like, they're really good, Squad. You put it together and he's just rocking. So far in life, man, who's had the biggest impact on you, the most profound impact?
Gee, are you talking about somebody like I know, or?
Yeah, well, it could be somebody that you admire from afar, never met him. But who do you think it is?
Shoot, I would say probably Joe Rogan, maybe. I mean, from the podcast world, maybe Joe Rogan.
You can't get better than that in podcasting. That's awesome, man. So how do you want your dash remembered? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date, your life date and death date on your tombstone, which hopefully, God willing, it's way far in the future, another 70, 80 years. But how do you want that dash remembered, Jake?
I just want to people to know that I was the guy that, sometimes I'm too much of a people pleaser, but I want to be the guy that, people remember me like, oh, he was always nice to me. He always kind of, lifted me up when I was down type thing. And, I want to be somebody that definitely made an impact. I know that there's a lot of things that I want to try and do throughout my life without ocean conservation and the environment and stuff like that. I'm pretty passionate about that stuff.
Yeah.
So definitely just somebody that made a difference.
Yeah. You've said that twice now. You're very convicted to that, man. Yeah. That's awesome. So what do you think the main plus is to be a leader? What do you think you must have to be a leader?
I think you need to have sort of a transcending personality, in the sense that you need to be that person that can level the playing field with people.
Sure.
When you have multiple people around you, you're going to have different personality types. And I think you need to be both, the soft spoken and the outspoken at the right times, and be able to, stand out and, have an idea and maybe bring people together. And then when people are down, or, you guys are, down for the count, you need to, be that voice that can sort of bring people together.
Right.
Like I said.
So you have all the different personalities that leaders happen to be, they're looking to you. And and correct me if I'm wrong in hearing this, but you're in this room with people, and you're taking their advice as well, because you've hired them, right? To help you. And then you take all of that data or advice, and then you make the ultimate decision. So you're open, is what you're saying. A good entrepreneur is open to hearing from their subordinates and then putting it into action, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you are not willing to, listen to what other people have to say, and you're so close-minded to that, it's not,
you're going to crash and burn. You're going to fricking fail, man. It's just, it is. I was that guy, I thought I knew it all within real estate in 05, 06. And then when the market crashed in 08, I got slammed, because I didn't listen to anybody. There's no humility. And that's the first pillar that I built in my life, was humility with curiosity. But how can I help people through this, but stay humble during it? So I love that you brought that up, man. So what do you think is the thing that people must misunderstand about Jake the most?
I think people, sometimes I come off as strong, sometimes I come off as soft. Sometimes people think I'm a little reserved and critical. I think when I meet people, I try to, figure out as much about them as I can before sort of opening up to them, and letting them know hey, this is who I am type thing.
Right.
Just because I'm a little, I'm kind of like an analytical type of guy.
Sure.
So I think, yeah, sometimes a little too closed off. I would like to, open up a little bit and meet people more. And then in other situations, maybe I'm, giving them a little bit too much and, being a little too Mr. Nice Guy with them. And I should be a little bit more
hard ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Thank you for being transparent on that. This is an awesome interview, a little discussion we have. Because again, you and I talk, 2 or 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this is an awesome conversation. So Jake, anything keep you up at night?
Geez. As much as I don't want to say this, definitely like your past and the mistakes you made, you kind of think about it. And it does linger. I feel like for a lot of people, like, everybody wants to like put that behind them and everything.
Right.
But those mistakes definitely pop out to you. And it's part of the reasons why I can't sleep at night. Also, I think maybe some stuff currently that, you want to do, like, this is what I want to do at work tomorrow. Or this is what I want to get done. Right. That's another thing.
I love it. And you kind of combat those thoughts with the slow and steady that you talked about a little bit earlier, like, hey man, we have to take it inch by inch. Do you do that, or does it just still keep you awake, bro?
I'm definitely like, all right, I'm gonna have to take this one step at a time, and then kind of calm myself down. But definitely get a little bit of anxiety thinking about like, these are the things I got to do tomorrow, or
Awesome, dude. That's awesome. So, what is one thing that has just blown Jake's mind?
Jeez. Honestly, just to see how quick people can be to, switch up on you, or, how quick you become people's friends,
Yeah.
People, it's crazy, the people that I, would have thought would still be like my good friends and stuff, or
your ride or dies, right? And they're not.
They're not, right?
How do you handle that loss? I know it's not a loss like a death, but man, you think you came up through the ranks of high school, junior high, whatever, dude. And then all of a sudden they're not that ride or die. Like, how do you handle that at your age?
Honestly, it kind of stinks. But at the same time, over time, definitely, like, I had to learn this, but you kind of just figure out, like, if they're not showing up for me anymore, I can't really show up for them.
Sure.
I'm going to have to, invest my time in other things and other people and other relationships.
But when you see them, you're not a dick or anything. You just know that you've kind of moved on, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like a smile and wave type thing. Like,
yeah, man.
We're acquaintances. I'm definitely going to be like, and there's still those people where I'll, see them in public and I'll catch up with them and it'll be great.
Right.
But then there's others and it's like,
right. Yeah.
I kind of know you're a piece of, something.
What I've noticed, like when I was like your age, and I was older than you, you're way ahead of me. But like when I was coming up, it's like people had the crab in a bucket kind of attitude, like, you're in a, like, you're trying to climb out of that bucket and they're trying to pull you back in. Right. And like, if you ever seen those crabs, and I had to deal with that. I deal with it to this day, with friends that they see me and they think that I feel that I'm too good for them, but I'm not. It's just, I kind of moved on. I'm all about progress and helping people. So you're going to see a lot of that. Just trust me, as you come up, bro, you're going to see a lot of it. So just be prepared for it. So Jake, out of this equation, let's take out our cell phone, our computer, anything electronic. All right. What's 3 things that Jake can't live without?
Oh, geez. Can it be a place?
It could be anything, brother.
I would say the gym. Definitely cannot live without. That's my me time.
Yeah.
My space to not talk to anybody and to just, get the work done.
Sure.
3 things I can't live without. I would say a good book. Definitely.
Okay. Yeah.
I need that time too. That's definitely important.
All right.
Damn, the 3rd thing.
I'll just answer it for you. It's Kava and Kratom with Ferguson. So we'll just call it that.
Honestly, I would say, maybe my running shoes.
All right.
Running shoes,
Well, let's throw your family in there too, man. All right. Awesome, dude. Awesome. So, Jake, so far in 20 years, what is your thoughts? What do you think a definition of a life well lived is?
Oh, a life well lived definitely is one where, you have a good work-life balance. A lot of us are focused on that this year with COVID and everything. good work-life balance, the ability to, travel and make, free decisions for yourself. Definitely to be free and to move free within, our society. I think if you're able to, make your own decisions and move freely within the world and travel the world and, start your own business and, or work for somebody if that's what you want to do, I think that's, that'd probably be my definition.
Just freedom, right, brother? Freedom to do. Don't hurt anybody, but freedom to do what you want, man. Yeah. That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. So, squad, we're going to take my good friend Jake Reeves from the Plot Podcast through our leveling up lightning round just as soon as we get back from thanking our sponsors and affiliates. Hey, time to shine today, Podcast Varsity Squad. We're back with my good friend Jake Reeves. And Jake, you and I have talked an hour or so about each one of these questions, but you got 5 seconds with no explanations. You ready to rock?
Let's go.
Let's do it, man. What's the best leveling up advice Jake's ever received?
Don't care about the haters.
Love it, dude. That's perfect. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
My bed in the morning.
Love it. Love it. So other than your podcast, and of course, Time to Shine Today, my podcast, what other podcasts do you like to go to level up?
Joe Rogan podcast.
There you go, baby. That's enough said right there. I hope you're going to say that too. So if you see me, I'm walking into Kava, I'm just looking like in my doldrums, man. Is there any book you're handing me to help me level up?
Yeah. The Power of Now.
Yeah, my dude. Put that in the show notes down here, right? Awesome. Perfect. What's your most commonly used emoji when you text?
Probably, the regular laugh cry emoji.
Wow. Word. How about chess or checkers? Checkers. Me too, dude. Me too. So is there any, you might not be into it now, but is there any organization or charity that you're passionate about helping out?
Suicide Awareness, 1-800-273-8255, I think. It's something like that.
Thank you, bro. Well, my little brother took his life and they actually sponsor my show, Suicide Life Prevention, which is awesome. I really appreciate that. So last question, Jake. What is the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or 2000s?
I'm going to say it's tough. I'm going to go 80s.
Oh, really, dude? That's no wonder we hang out. You got the big hair, don't care, kind of like the 80s and stuff right now. That's awesome. So, Jake, how can we find your brother?
Instagram @_Jake Reeves. That's REEVES. You're going to find me on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, The Plot Podcast. And you'll see a little 80s retro little title that says The Plot on it.
Yeah. That you designed, by the way.
That I designed, by the way.
Yeah, man. So tell us a little bit, quickly, not too long, but tell us a little bit about the Plot Podcast. I don't want to give too much away. It's going to be in the show notes, and I want people to go there after listening to this.
Yeah, so like Scott said, I'm basically about interviewing entrepreneurs, business owners, creators, people that are definitely, leveling up their life, Scott likes to say. And, I just want to, the first season is all about getting into the nitty gritty of these people. So as I bring more people on, more creators, more entrepreneurs, I want to see, who they are, like what they've done throughout their lives and how, they've handled setbacks and then, what they're doing moving forward. And then as I go on, I plan on, switching up the questions a little bit.
Sure.
And then, giving, more of like a deep dive into, their business and, the things that they've done, throughout their journey so far.
Digging deep, right? Digging deep and pulling that. I love it, man. I love it. And squad, you just had a masterclass with my young buck friend, my little brother from another mother, Jake Reeves. He has the Plot Podcast. Make sure you tune into it. He has a passion to see others succeed, and you don't hear that much from somebody that's only been breathing air on this earth for 2 decades. He always wants you to remember to have the ability to stay humble and always learn and level up. And remember that it's a slow and steady race. It's inch by inch, it's a cinch. By the yard, it's hard. Especially a lot of kids his age want the now. They want the instant gratification. Jake's willing to put the work in, the grind, now so he can shine later. And that's what I love about this kid. He's a go-giver. You know, he's soft-spoken, but he's also outspoken. He's working that fine line in between that work-life balance. And he wants you to always be free to make your decisions. And Jake, man, it was awesome to have you on. I'm stoked about this interview. You level up your health, you level up your wealth. You're humble yet you're hungry. Thanks for coming on, man. I can't wait to collaborate with you in the future, brother.
Thank you so much for having me, bro.
You bet. Chat soon.